Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Don't you weep. Oh, Martha, don't you know? You, Mary, don't you weep. Happy Sunday, everybody. It is your girl, Miss Honey, here for another Power Book 3 Raising Kanan review. Of course, this is season 2. This is episode 5. It was a banger. This was such a good episode. The episode is called What Happens in the Catskills. Listen, you probably hear a small fan in the background. Right? I cannot turn that fan off. If I turn that fan off, y'all gonna be burying me in the Catskills, okay? If you know, then you know, all right? Okay, let's get into this episode. Okay, please don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Hit that thumbs up button no matter who you are. Comment down below. Let's talk about it. The way this episode opened up, it kind of felt to me like I was about to watch a movie. Like, New Jack City or something for the first time. Like, if you remember that anticipation of New Jack City coming out and then just sitting and watching the movie and how it unfurled, this episode opened up like New Jack City for me. That's how it felt. You got this crackhead, you know, he is he got a coat on and a shirt, his shoes, his face is covered in sores. He's chewing on a straw and he's counting these ones over and over again like it's 5,000 of them, and it's probably more like 40. You know what I'm saying? And he is just running them through and talking to himself and waving at imaginary people, and it is super quiet. There's not a lot of people walking out. You instantly know that it is early morning, because there's not a lot of movement going on. There's a guy sitting on the bench. He's talking to him for a little bit, trying to see if he can get a few more dollars, a little something, something. You know, he goes into the Basie. He doesn't go in the main way. He goes in the crackhead way. He goes in the back way, right? And they got it all Jimmy rigged up. You know what I mean when I say Jimmy rigged too, don't you? Oh, okay. It's ninja rigged. He got it all Jimmy rigged up. He gets in the building. He goes up the steps, boy. Boop, 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 boop. Up them steps, man. When I tell you I envied his knees. Ooh, I was like, look at them knees. Well, you got bad knees, right? Everybody with good knees, you can spot them from a mile away. Do, 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 do. Upstairs to the 8th floor. He's knocking on the door. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Let me get my rocks. Let me get my rocks. You hear Marvin say, "Go on away. We close right now." How you closing? You a crack? You a crack den. That's what the crackhead said. Come on, man. I need my rocks. I need my fix. I'm geeking. And Marvin is like, "I said we close, right?" And he was like, "I need my rocks. I need my crack. I want my crack right now." Turns around, takes his foot, and boom, boom. Mule kicks the door. Boom, boom. Marvin comes out, was like, "Ninja, get these rocks, keep your money, and let everybody know we closed till the mid-afternoon. Don't come by here and ask for nothing. Okay? Let all the base heads know, don't come by here. We doing spring cleaning." He was like, "Spring cleaning? A crack house? Really? Okay." He was like, "Man, just do what I tell you to do." Right? What Marvin is doing is, Marvin is moving that body. The body from the superintendent down at the housing board. The one he put in the wall foolishly, lazily. Okay? Everything he did this episode to get rid of the body, he should have did it back then, but he didn't do it. Right? He just put the man in the wall. Right? Okay? No kind of preparation whatsoever. Kill the guy in the wall and just put the boards back up. Like, bodies don't smell. A banana will stank your house up. What do you think a body will do, Marvin? It's all right. We like Marvin this season. This season, Marvin is our MVP for this season. I really, really like Marvin's character this season. And every episode just levels up. Just levels up my affection for Marvin. Period. Right? Okay, so he goes and gets the he comes out of that apartment that the crackhead was in, goes down 2 doors, goes in that apartment where he done buried that body, baby. And he in the body, he done clawed the wall out, and the body's just in there. You know, it's been over 3 months. The body was a little bit more far along in the decay process. Like, it was still whole per se, but if you know anything about a body goes through like a liquefying phase. It goes through bloat, the releasing of the gas, and then it's all liquid. So really, that wall should have been stained. I digress. Too much forensics files. I digress. It's comic relief when Marvin kind of struggles with the body, gets it out, falls on top of the body, fakes like he's gonna throw up, throws the body in one of those little mini dumpsters, you know, they put inside the houses when they're doing renos, gets rid of the body, you know, double bags it, gets rid of it, or so we think. He's not really getting rid of it, he's really just transporting it. Okay, so that's one of the things we see opening episode. It's a really good moment. The other thing that I want us to realize is that the Italians are pissed with Rock. You guys remember that Rock not only cussed Lou out for showing her up in front of the Italians, but she told the Italians, I don't want your offer. I ain't even looking at your offer. Okay? Tell you what I do. I'll let you know, okay, what you can do for me, right? Italians don't like that. They don't like it, one, because she's a woman, and doubly so because she's a black woman, right? So they sitting on her spot. They sitting on her and Kanan's house. They see Marvin when Marvin pull up in what looks like to be a Buick LeSabre. I think it's a Buick LeSabre. You know what I'm saying? I think we're going to see a Crown Marquis too before this episode is over. I believe the Italians are in a Crown Marquis, but I digress. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. Y'all get me straight in the comments about my cars and stuff, but this is one of the reasons why I love this episode. Like, they on point with the dating, like how they're the whole show is set up just properly, you know, dressed up in all of the 90s garb and earrings, the cars, like the everything is just perfectly done, right? So the Italians are sitting on Rock's house, right? And Rock's inside. She's watching Kanan sleep. Kanan, you know, the last thing we saw between Rock and Kanan was Rock followed Kanan over to Detective Howard's house and watched him go inside. Okay, so now she's in this place where she feels like, I need to get bring my son back in line. I need to bring him closer to me, keep him closer to me, and keep him on my side. So when Kanan wakes up and Rock is sitting there on the bed fully dressed looking at him, he was scared. I was scared. I didn't know. I mean, we know we can't trust Rock. Y'all see what she did was to Scrap? Oh, no. Do not take your eyes off Rock. And if you guys watch TSF Entertainment, we do a very in-depth review of the show over there every Sunday, and we talk about it a lot. Like, Rock cannot be trusted, and she has been pivotal in how things have happened for each one of our characters. Rock has been a little bit of a puppet master, right? So I would be terrified too, waking up to Rock sitting at the edge of my bed smiling. You remember we used to go camping? He was like, you woke me up to talk about camping, Mom? And she was like, you remember how Post took us camping? You can't stand camping. I know you ain't wake me up for camping. And I was reminded in this moment what it is the character that plays young Kanan reminds me of when he holds his mouth. It's not a frown, even though he always has a furrowed brow. It kind of reminds me of Viola Davis playing Michelle Obama. The way he holds his mouth. You want me on the tour camping? And so she was like, listen, we're going to the Catskills, me and you. Juke going? No, just me and you. We're going to the Catskills. For a mother and son time, we're going to be doing some bonding. And he was like, I got to help Famous with something. Nah, Famous is fine. You going with your mother to the Catskills, and we going camping. And Kanan's like, oh, okay. She was like, 2 sweaters and a coat. Okay, put it in the bag and meet me outside. Right? Of course, immediately Kanan goes in there to see Juke. And Juke has already been briefed. Rock has thought of everything, right? You know, you go wiggle out of it this way. You going to wiggle out of it that way. Right? You going camping with us? Even though Rock has already told him no. Juke says, no, your mom's wanted it to be you and her. And he was like, oh, man, I don't even know if I want to spend time with her. Maybe this will give you an opportunity, Juke say, to talk to your mother about how you feel about everything that's been going on. And so he was like, man, I can't talk to my mother. I can't talk to her. Not about this. Are you serious? And she was like, yeah, man. He was like, well, you know what I did? The same thing you did with your mama, I did with my daddy. I went to look him in his face. Look him dead in his face and see what's what. And she was like, really? Word? And what happened? And Kanan was like, man, looking into his eyes, things look real familiar to me. She was like, nah. That's not your father. That's a liar. He's a lying arse cop, right? And that's what cops do. Cops lie. Cops lie. You can't believe them. At this moment, Rock rolling in. Now, she probably was already outside the door listening. Anywho. Okay, but she was like, what you doing, Kanan? You not dressed yet? Go and get your things together. Come on. He was like, mother, I'm coming. And she was like, come on. What you worried? Why? I don't want to be late. We gotta go. We don't have time for you to be lollygagging around trying to put 2 and 2 together and make 4, sir. Get your things together and let's go. Mother, I'm coming right now. And she was like, okay, meet me in the car. And Juke said, make sure you look out for mosquitoes, scorpions, lions, snakes, bears, tigers, angry coyotes, wild foxes, and rabid dogs. And he was like, man. Oh my gosh. Hilarious. At the same time, Juke was getting ready to listen to the tape that Crown gave her at Famous Party. She think it's a song for her to try out. She don't know. Right? She listened to the tape immediately. When she listened to it, she throws it down hard. Whoosh! Okay? And storms out. We're going to talk about that later. Okay. Watching this episode, we're going to put a pin in everything. We're going to move forward, but let me just tell you this. Watching this episode kind of made me think about, y'all remember, it was desk decoration, right? And it's kind of like this pendulum thing, right? Okay, so it's like 6 balls, and you take 1 ball on the end. You could get it from Brookstone, Sharper Image, that type of thing. 1 ball on the end, you take it and you let it go, and it swings and whacks the other balls. The balls in the middle stay what appears to be still, and the energy flows through the balls in the middle, the 4 balls in the middle. Okay, and out to the last ball and kicks it out. When that ball kicks out, it comes back and it hits the 4 balls, energy, kicks that end ball out. The balls in the middle seem to stay still. They aren't really still per se. They look still. What it is that the energy from the cause of this ball swinging just reverberates. Still movement, reverberates through these balls, and because they're so close together, they just transfer the energy and shoot it out the other end and kick that ball out, and it swings back. It becomes cause, kicks that one out of effect. Okay, this one becomes cause, whack, this one becomes effect, right? You get it? That's what this episode reminds me of. Cause and effect. It looks like there isn't a lot of movement. in some areas. For me, the Lou situation looked as though he was stagnant. He was ashy and dry. He was being challenged on every hand. He was being dismissed and minimized and sunned on every end. But I now see that the rock and the crown cause is reverberating through the Lou situation, and we're going to see the effect of Lou coming down hard, woof, and sending that energy back through. And I got a sneaky suspicion that crown's going to catch the brunt of that enemy, right? Of that energy, right? So let's move forward. I just want you to be thinking about that, because we're going to see it throughout each one of our characters. Already the situation with Rock Lion, you know what I'm saying, cause, right? It's swinging down hard. Woo. Okay, reverberating, and it's kicking Kanan out on the other end. He's talking to Detective Howard. He's talking to other people. He's doing research. He is checking Rock's lies, dotting, seeing out, making sure all her I's are dotted, her T's are crossed in this situation. And it's a problem for Rock, because what she need him to do is just accept all of the lies that she has told him and move on, right? Okay, so then we get to see what's really going on. Okay, Marvin is there. Now remember, the Italians are sitting on Rock's house. Marvin pull up in what I think to be is a Buick LeSabre, right? Pulls up, and Kanan comes out. They got a couple of bags. Kanan wants to put them in the trunk. Not putting them in the trunk, right? We're not going in the trunk at all right now. Put them in the back seat. Get inside. Stop rolling your eyes. Stop being a angry teenager. You and your mom going camping. Have fun. Rock gets into the LeSabre. Everything's done. The body's covered up. I put pine. When he said pine, them pine trees in there, I thought he meant actual pine, the pine limbs like you make garland out of. I didn't know he meant the ones you hang from the dad burn rear view mirror. I was like, boy, you idiot. Marvin, child, like, you got to go to school, sir. You need to watch some movies. Like, I just don't think you get it. Anywho, Rock and Kanan on their way. They driving, and so are the Italians. They're following behind. All right. Okay, so let's talk about Lou real quick. Lou, okay, and Crown are down at a radio station, and Lou is trying to sell Ziza on this song. Now, by now, Juke knows that it wasn't a new song. It was her song, and it was Ziza singing her song, right? This is Crown. He's the cause, right? He's the cause of his own demise, because not only are you trying to waylay Lou with his family, use his family to take him out of the music game and get him out of your way, right? But you don't even care about what you're doing to Juke. You don't even care about how you handling Juke at all. You don't have no respect for Juke whatsoever. You know that what he did was really kind of an ish move. You know what I'm saying? Not ish. I think I mean the B word. It's a duck boy move, right? Like, it's a duck boy move. Just keeping it real, right? Like, that was so sneaky and underhanded. He knew what he was doing. He knew it was going. He didn't care about it hurting her. He knew that it was going to eventually lead back to Lou and put a wedge in her relationship with Lou, which it wasn't that great, but anyway. But Lou is here, unbeknownst to him. He is trying to get this radio personality to play this song. Ziza's singing this song, and he's talking about how great she looks too. And Crown sons him. Yeah. Whoa. Don't worry about it. He's the money man. He's trying to get his nose into AR. It's me and you talking right now. And the guy was like, well, you know, you got to take care of me if I do this. And Crown was like, yeah, I know. Tell you what, let's talk about it outside. And the dude tells Lou, as they walking out, he tells Lou, yeah, have some snacks while the grown people talk. You know, basically, you know, color your coloring book while the grown people talk. And Lou is watching them talk, and I think he could kind of hear him talking a little bit too. And he could hear Crown just kind of downgrade him, right? Like talking about him, you know, putting him down. And Lou is looking like, okay. All right. So later on, when they walking through the parking deck, and Lou is like, don't ever talk to me like that again. Don't ever treat me like that again. You don't do me like that. And Crown is like, you talk too much. You need to let me handle it. And I don't appreciate it. And you don't know anything about business. Now until Lou spun around, baby. Whoo. And it looked like he did a small leap and brought that hand down hard. Okay. It was a spin / leap. Wow. And slapped the literal taste out of Crown's mouth. Crown was like, ugh. When he looked up, his mouth was full of blood. I was like, oh man, not the spin and the whip it. I'm talking about he did a small spin, leap, whipped it, wow. The taste, ding, 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 flew dead out of Crown's mouth. And Crown was like, you ain't gonna keep hitting me. You ain't gonna keep getting physical with me. I was like, well, you need to be thinking about this when you're running your mouth. Crown, you got to be thinking about this. You know Lou ain't stable. Okay? Well, Lou said, you know what? I'm sick of your mess. I'm about sick of you acting like you think you better than me. You smarter than me. And Crown stood up and he had a gun in his waistband and he pulled in. And Lou walked right up to him. And this is when I realized that the actors that play Crown is taller than Lou. Okay? Pulls out his gun and Lou said, what you gonna do with it? Crown was like, you ain't gonna use it. Who said I ain't gonna use it? He was like, well, go on, use it then. Turned around and put his back to him. Walked off. Crown was just standing there. Yeah. Hold that thought, Crown. Hold that thought. Oh, this a mess. This a mess. Right? A mess. Okay, let's talk about Juke a little bit. Like I said, she don't listen to the tape. She know that tape is not her. She goes over and off camera talks to Crown. Finds out that Lou is the one that gave Zisa that song. And he gave her Zisa's address. Goes over to Zisa's house, and Zisa's coming out looking like a Leah. She take the whole thing and throw it at Zisa's feet. And tell Zisa, you stole my song. And Zisa's like, what do you mean your song? My song, you stole my song. Oh, that song? Who gave you that song? Who told you that? Crown. Don't worry about who told me that. That's my song, and you stole it. She was like, listen, I don't have to steal your song. I write my own music, right? And Lou gave me that song. Lou? She was like, yeah, Lou gave me that song. I mean, and it, you know, I don't have to steal your music. I can write my own music. It was something between them. Even though Duke was giving her what for, she kind of was holding her own. And when she hollered back and said she write her own music, it was something in that moment. It was giving me Missy Elliott and Aaliyah. It was giving me a little Missy Elliott and Aaliyah moment, right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. Missy Elliott and Aaliyah. You know what I'm saying. Okay. Because you look back like, okay, you write your own music. So she goes over to see Lou. And she says, you gave her my song? And Lou was like, who told you that? At Crown. And she was like, don't worry about who told me that. Why would you give her my song? Yeah, it wasn't that. Oh yeah, and because she pretty, she look good, she look better than me, huh? Because you wanted somebody fancy pants to do the songs, to do the music. That's why you giving it away. And he was like, no, listen, don't underestimate writing credits. I just want to hear how she sounded on it. It was a bop, bada bing, bada boom. Again, no respect. No respect for Juke, right? Crown not having respect for Juke is one thing, but this your uncle. This your blood. This your family. He know about everything that you've been through, right? So it hurts that much worse for him to try to poo-poo her and tell her to just be grateful for the writing credits and producers credits. Like, that has meaning too. She want to sing. She want to be, she wants to be more vocal. She wants to write and sing her own music. She just needs a medium, a vehicle to get it out there. And so for you to put her on the back burner, and put her in the admin's role, it was so hurtful. She just walked off, and he was like, "Come on, Juke, don't be that way." And I was just like, "No, you don't be that way, Lou. You don't be that way, right?" Still thinking about the pendulum, right? Everything that is shaping and forming who Juke is. Okay, whack. It doesn't look like there's a lot happening there, right? But that energy is kicking something out on the other side that's gonna come back down hard, right? And reverberate, right? Okay, and it's shaking up and rocking the worlds of our character, right? Each one of them. All right. This relationship, whatever this relationship Lou had with Juke, it's slowly being demolished. Yes, Crown is a little bit a part of it, but Lou is probably a good 85% of it. Why his relationship with Juke is being destroyed. But I digress. Meanwhile, listen, Rock then made it to the Catskills, okay? And there's some moments there on the journey there. They're listening to the radio, and she notices a police car pull up behind her fast. She takes her sunglasses off, looks straight ahead, hands on 10 and 2. She knows what to do. It's a moment. It's a moment about how black people have to move in this world. It's very small, it's very subtle, but it's there. Cop pulls up, looks at her, she looks at him, looks back ahead, and he pulls on off like, okay, mother and son, I'm gonna let them be, right? If it had been a black man driving, there's no telling what would have happened, but I digress. They get there, and of course Rock has a fake ID. She's Mrs. Jones, right? They've rented a cabin. The cabin that they've rented has a fire pit. Now, Kanan is still completely unaware that there is a body in the trunk, right? He thinks his mom is just forcing him to do this super fun thing that he doesn't want to do. But, kids always have find a way to have fun, even when they think it's going to be a bust. As long as there are other young people there somewhere about, they're gonna find a way to get into something. He does. He sees Hannah Montana. She works there. Rock is at the counter checking in and purchasing a hunting knife, right? I know she got her piece too, but she purchasing a hunting knife. He talking to Hannah Montana and flirting, right? And she flirting right back, okay? And you got any bear repellent, Dude, it's a cabin, right? You ain't got to pitch a tent. You ain't about to buy a river. None of that. Like, come on. He's flirting. Rock notices him flirting. She's already had the conversation with him in the car about girls. We find out that Davina is in Carolina. From what Kanan hears from her cousin, she's in Carolina staying with family, right? And that he met a girl, Palomar's daughter, who lives in Famous's building. She tells him the most important thing for you to do is just have fun out there, son. You know what I'm saying? Get your wick wet. Enjoy yourself. And so when she sees him talking to Hannah Montana, she's cool with it. They go on around to the cabin where they're going to stay and unload their bags and go inside. It's going to be great. Rock is like, we a long way from the city, won't we, son? It's going to be great. And he was like, yeah, ma. Yeah, it's going to be great. Meanwhile, that Crown Marquise go by. That's the Italians. They done followed them up there. She saw the police, but she didn't see them. They hung back. They go and get their own cabin. The next cabin over. The next cabin over. So, everything in the woods is Gucci. We get to see where Marvin decides he's going to have lunch with Miss Renee. Miss Renee is telling him, listen, you fine. She don't say that, but I can tell. Now, you done orchestrated a whole lunch with Marvin, right? Under the guise that you want to help him get his anger management. And to get him to tell you a little bit more about his personal business, you give him a light threat about, if I tell the judge that you're not cooperating in class, he gonna throw you back in the clink. So you need to give me something. It's not to help him with his anger management. She's attracted to Marvin. Okay, she's attracted to Marvin. She see a man that she thinks she can save and possibly could have a long dong schlong. And she want a piece of that. Marvin said, I got a daughter. She was like, oh, okay, that's right, you got a daughter. She's a teenager, right? It don't matter what her age is. But I did something to her real bad, and she won't talk to me. She'll never forgive me. She should forgive me, but she ain't gonna never forgive me. And he was like, it ain't nothing sick. I ain't no sick mucker ducker. I ain't no sick mucker ducker. But she ain't gonna never forgive me. I did something real bad, and he says, I'm a dumb mugger ducker. I ain't no sick mugger ducker, but I'm a dumb mugger ducker. That's what I'm dealing with. He lets her know, I don't want to tell all my business in there. I'm a private person. I don't tell all my business. It turns her on that much more. Okay, it intrigues her that much more, right? This is the conversation that they have. So she's already attracted to him. She already feels like she can fix him or save him or be a part of his world in some sort of way. And Marvin is right. Marvin is dumb. Now, dumb is not to be confused with stupid. It's not to be confused with stupid. Stupid and dumb is two different things, right? Okay. Dumb is more like ignorant, right? Stupid, on the other hand, is like we just don't learn. Marvin will never bury a body again in a wall. Never. Right? Because he was dumb and not stupid. You get what I'm telling you? Okay. So Marvin is not stupid. He's just dumb. He's just ignorant. He's not even wise to the fact that she kind of hemming up on him a little bit, right? But it's a moment. I'm not really sure how Marvin got from that to going and following the white girl that was in the club, the one that he was bumping around with. And I'm not sure how we got from that to that. As a matter of fact, when I watched the episode the second time, I put the closed caption on so I could hear the conversation between him and Renee, because I just wanted, was it something that he said that I missed, that they said that I missed, that led him to go find old girl from the club? I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I found the whole scene interesting. So he's in a completely caucasoid part of town. And I'm sure it's not too far from the Catskills. It is like the area where Rock wants to buy her house, essentially. Except it's the downtown part. And she is coming and getting into a convertible Mercedes. And she's got tons and tons of bags, like the girl on Pretty Woman. She's coming out with all of her bags and throws it in the back of the car and gets in. And Marvin is sitting across the street and eating a bag of chips and watching her. And he was like, oh, you fancy now, huh? Boop, boop, boop. Knock on the window. It's a police officer. And of course, he got his hand on his gun. He's like, roll your window down, please. Marvin rolls the window down. Can I help you, sir? He was like, oh, no. Officer, can I help you? And the officer's like, well, no, I was just wondering. We got all these good white folks around here. Why are you sitting your black R here? And in our area. This for people with money that shop and got fair skin. And Marvin was like, I was riding along. I got tired. I stopped for a minute. have a snack. You want to get down on some of these chips? And the officer was like, no, you're very kind. I tell you what, wrap your chips up, wrap your rest stop up, and get on out of town. Keep moving. And Marvin was like, oh, okay, thank you, sir. I understand. This spot is for rich white folks. She pull off. Marvin go ahead and follow her. He follows her to her beautiful home, beautiful estate. White man comes out there just kissing and hugging. And Marvin's like, oh, okay, no, you fancy, huh? He was like, oh, he saw them kiss. He was like, man, if you knew where that mouth been. I was like, ooh, she don't get rim jobs, do she? Unchristianly, listen. She don't get rim jobs, do she, Marvin? Okay, she paint the tank. All right. So anyway, Marvin. It cracks me up. Marvin got to move along though, because police officer is right behind him. So we're anticipating episode 6 and 7. Marvin, let's see what's going on with him. All right, listen. Let's go on and talk a little bit more about the Lou situation. Okay, so Lou, like I said, Juke comes in, she confronts him. He doesn't really have a leg to stand on with how he's treated Juke. She runs off, but he's working on a really good beat, like a sick beat. Doom, chicka, 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 doom, chicka, chicka. What up? What up? Chicka, chicka. That's not how it went, but it was kind of like that. And so Famous comes in and he starts rapping to it. It was lame. It was a lame rap. But he was like, yeah, I still got it. Yo, I've been writing. I've been rapping like you told me to do. And listen, I'm sorry about the whole Jessica situation. I had no idea she was smashing Crown. I mean, I kind of had an idea because she would come in late and he would be bringing her in and her hair would be messed up. But I thought she was riding with the window down. I wasn't sure. I didn't know. And Lou was just calm as a cucumber. This is the first time this season that I saw season 1 Lou. This no nonsense Lou. Again, Lou is coming into full fruition. Okay? He's realizing I'm being played out like a sucker. I'm being sunned. Right? I'm being dismissed and diminished by this ninja crown. Not this ninja crown. The more Famous talk, Lou is just listening. And Famous was like, I got rhymes, I got raps, I got everything I need. He was like, go get them, bring them, and let's see what we can talk. And Famous runs off like, okay, you won't be disappointed. Meanwhile, he go to hug Lou, and Lou was like, don't do it. Just go get your music. I was like, ooh, that's season 1 Lou. Then he turns around and looks at the graffiti on the wall, the mural, the name of the studio, Bulletproof Records, and folds his arm. I said, Crown, I don't believe you're gonna be in season 3, sir. I don't think so. You best make season 2 count. I believe you about to catch a hot one. Is Lou back? All right. I can't wait to see if Lou back. Baby, when I tell you he played it cool, but he was 38 hot. 38 hot. Okay, Lou, Marvin, Juke. Let's talk about Juke. And then we're going to finish this up with Rock and Kanan's trip into Catskills, right? Okay, so Juke, she done went over and she done confronted Lou. It's a bust, right? It's a complete bust. Okay? She still got to go over and see her mama at the church. Remember? She gonna go to church, to her mama's church, right? So she let her hair down, put a nice dress on. She still got her coat on. She go and she gonna sing. I don't know if she thought she was gonna sing. I think she really just wanted to see a little bit more about what her mom was doing at the church. And she and her mom had been talking, so she knew that her mom sang because she saw her singing, and they probably talked about her singing. So when she goes in and she's sitting down, she's got her hair down. When I tell you she looked more like Rock than Rock does herself, they look more like Ussies than Ussies ourselves. She looked more like Rock than she do Kenya, LaToya Luckett's character. She looked a lot like Rock. I know y'all have thought that before. I was like, ooh, Juke looked like Rock raised her. Juke looked like Rock raised her. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that. Put that down below. But listen, she's a beautiful girl anyway, but she's sitting there. She's got her hair down, and she's got a real demure demeanor, right? A lot of times the clothes you wear kind of guides your energy, right? So you dress a little bit more hard and edge. You tend to carry yourself more with a hard edge, right? You very rarely ever see people who are dressed real edgy with, you know, their shoulders down and their head down. They tend to stand taller and stronger, you know what I'm saying, and push the outfit out there. A lot of times when you see girls in soft pastel dresses, they tend to be more softer and girlier. And this is what she looks like. She doesn't look as tough. She doesn't have her hands in her pocket. She doesn't have her hair pulled back in that braid and her lips pierced. She's just giving us real demure. And one of the youngsters there, a young man around her age, is like, you sitting here looking like a dime, like a 10. Ain't you Sister Kenya's daughter? And she was like, I am her daughter. He was like, oh, okay, you looking like a dime back here. And she was like, shouldn't you be somewhere praying? And he was like, I don't mind praying, but I'd rather have your digits. And she was like, oh, you, sir, will not be getting my digits. I was like, Juke, you better be coy. You better be coy. So at that moment, she sees her mom call her up, right? And they're singing Mary Don't You Weep, right? And that song is like a blood song. Y'all don't know nothing about that. If y'all didn't grow up Pentecostal or apostolic, you don't know nothing about a blood song. That blood song is a song that you milk, huh? You pump it, you prime it. It's meant to get the people deep down in their feelings, in their soul, and bring that joint up, right? And have all the folks just, woo, yes, right? It ain't one of them. It's not that. It's one of them songs that you milk it, you prime it, you wind it up, baby. Huh? Until you work the people into a frenzy. And Latoya Luckett is doing a good job of singing it, right? But she want her daughter to take a hand at it. And the choir director was like, say, you Sister Kenya's daughter, right? If Sister Kenya say you can sing, Sister Kenya say, oh, my daughter can sing. And he was like, okay, well, let's see. You go to church. You got a church home. And you know, they always want to know if you got a church home. And Juke was like, kinda. And he was like, oh, okay, you know, Mary, don't you weep? And Juke was like, yeah, I think I do. I believe I can. I believe I know that little ditty. I think I can. I'm just gonna do my best. I'm just gonna try. And he was like, okay. And so he tell the choir to get going. Mary, don't you weep. And Juke say, Mary, don't you weep. And everybody's like, oh, okay. And they say, tell Martha not to moan. And Juke say, Martha, don't you moan. And everybody was like, oh, baby, when I tell you Juke dog walk, Mary, don't you weep. Whoo. She tiptoed through the meadow of Mary, don't you weep. It put me in the mind. I said, oh, if she ain't a Clark sister, she a Clark cousin. Huh? She said, Mary, don't you weep. Martha, don't you moan. Weep, 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 weep. Moan, 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 moan. Weep, 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 weep. Moan, 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 moan. Martha, don't you moan. And Mary, don't you weep. Baby, upper register, upper region. Tell Martha not to moan. I mean, everybody was like, woof, hair blown back. Hair blown back. And then she just, ever so sweetly, Mary, don't you weep. Mary, don't you weep. Mary, don't you weep. Martha, don't you moan. Martha, don't you moan. Everybody was like, Baby, when she got done, they was like, whoa, wow. It was so freeing for Juke. It was like she got in the pocket, right? She found her sweet spot. This is the beauty of gospel music and worship songs, right? Like, no matter where you are in the spectrum of what you believe, it's something about it that gets down in your spirit, right? It's something about the milking of the song, the working of the song, the pace of it, the intensity of it. And then when she brings this God-given talent, what we call the anointing, okay? And it radiates through her body. It's almost like therapy for her. The way she tossed her head back and screamed, "Martha, don't you moan." I said, she's talking to herself. She's preaching her to herself. Whew. It's a good moment. It was a good moment. I said, ooh, go on shout. Go on, give me an old good Fantasia shout, baby. Ah. Don't you moan, Mary, don't you moan. Y'all know how y'all know how Fantasia get the spirit, child. Okay, that's what she gave me. That's what she gave me. It was such a beautiful moment because it was a moment of freedom for Juke. It was a moment of freedom for Juke, and I really, really, really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that scene altogether, and the proud look on Kenya's face. What's next? I don't know, but this was a great Juke moment. Y'all tell me what you think. Put it down below. Let's wrap it up. Come on now. So Rock and Kanan are there, and they are having a hot dog by the fire pit in front of the cabin, and she's just talking about all the things they could do there, and he's throwing it, he's kind of blocking it. He's just not there yet. In the car, she turns the music down. She wants to talk about girls. He just gives her a little bit of conversation. Then he wants to turn it back on. Now in front of a fire, she wants to talk a little bit more and just try to ingratiate herself with him a little bit more. And just pull him in, draw him in. This trip is 2 birds, 1 stone. Yes, she wants to bring Kanan in a lot closer to her. She wants to keep an eye on Kanan, but she also wants to get him to commit to the family and the business. Okay, she also want to get rid of that body that she got in the trunk with them pine trees on top of it. But more importantly, right now she's focused on Kanan. Kanan is just like, he's blocking her. He's blocking her. Don't trust her. He's not sure. And I don't know. Part of me thinks that he's afraid. What he's afraid of, I can't say for sure. I can't say he's afraid that Rob will kill him, but he's afraid, like any kid would be, especially of a parent that they revere. Right? So he decides he wants a Coke, and he's gonna leave, and he's gonna go over back to the cabin, back to the manager's cabin where Hannah Montana is. And the Italians have been watching them at the fire pit. And so it's like the kid is leaving. Now it's 2 Italians. It's one guy that is the head killer, and he's the sensible one. And then he's got an intern there with him who hasn't really put in a lot of work. He wants to go and do the job, with Rock. He wants to kill Rock himself, and that way it'll, promote him in the eyes of the big Italian boss. But the experienced killer knows that this man is racist, and he's, he don't know how to focus. He's more focused on his hatred for black people than he is on the job he's supposed to be doing. So he tells him to go and keep an eye on Kanan and keep him distracted while he kill Rock. You can't take out Rock. Take the kid. Just keep your eye on him. Don't hurt him. We don't do kids. It's bad for business. It's bad for our own mental health. And on top of that, that's not what we're here for. We're here to take out the girl. And so the woman. And so he goes over and he sneaks into the woods. The racist killer Italian, he goes around and he's going to distract Kanan. Now he sees that Kanan is talking to Hannah Montana, and they're conversing, and then he sees where they go out back Okay. Meanwhile, Rock is sitting there at the fire and she's having a cigarette and she hears branches crackling and all that. She thinks it's Kanan sneaking up on her. It's freaking her out a little bit because it's nighttime, and she thinks it's Kanan is sneaking up on her, and she's telling him don't sneak up on her. The guy's got his gun, a silencer, aimed on her, directly on her, and he's about to take her out when white guy and his son comes up and they want to borrow some kindling. So Rock was like, take as much as you want. They really saved her life because the dude wasn't going to kill her with these other individuals here. And she was like, take as much as you want. I'll just send my son out for some later. Help yourself. And she walks past those people and goes to see if she can find Kanan, because it's taken him a while at this point. Now, meanwhile, Kanan's back there having a doobie. Mary Jane, you know what I'm saying? He's chiefing up with Hannah Montana. And, they smoking. They talking about smoking. He's talking way too much. My name is Kanan. My friend name is Famous. My friend Famous smoke a lot. I was like, Kanan. This is what you should be teaching him, Rob. This is what you should be teaching him. Do not give out your real name. Do not give out your real name. Nicknames. Anyway, so they go to kiss. They both high. They going to kiss, and the racist Italian busts that like, "What? Get away from her! Why are you touching her? Get your filthy hands off him!" Rock walks up just in time and said, "Don't talk to my son like that. You need to mind your business. Kanan, get your stuff. Let's go." Kanan ran past her. And the guy was like, well, I came to get some stuff from mosquitoes, and I see him, and I don't know, they're out here doing gosh knows what. And she was like, yeah, don't worry about what they doing. Worry about what you doing. Mind your own business. And she's walking back. That's why I got my hair like this. And baby, that ponytail was giving a swing, baby. It ain't up high enough. Mine ain't up high enough. But y'all remember in the 90s when you put that ponytail up high and you was walking, it would just give you wind, baby. Wind. And she tell him, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? It ain't safe for a black man and a white woman. Stay away from white girls. They gonna get you killed. He was like, but Mom, I was just stay away from white girls. They gonna get you killed, Kanan. Another moment. It's very, very subtle. It goes by very quickly, but it's another moment, right? Where we learn a little bit more about how black people, black families, parents with black boys and girls have to matriculate, right? So, we see where the racist Italian tells the white girl, like, if you was my daughter, I'd lock you up in your room and not let you out for the rest of your life. She would say, you're a dick. Rock get back to the cabin, and she want to have a talk with Kanan. But meanwhile, the racist Italian goes back to the cabin. He sees his senior counterpart there, and he's like, what happened? Some people showed up. I couldn't kill her. He was like, well, you should have let me do it. Let's go whack them both. Let's kill them both. Her and her ninja son. Let's kill them both. He was like, listen, calm down. We will have an opportunity. What we're not going to do is that. Okay? We have our assignment. That's what we're going to do. That's all they won't do. Take it down a notch. Right? It's going to be a mess. So Rock, meanwhile, she kind of wants to make up for yelling at Kanan. She thinks about why she brought him out there. Let's just focus on first things first. Okay? And they make s'mores. And they have a conversation. And they talk about not only her dad, what her dad did. Right? Because she having a little swig. Okay? As they make s'mores, she give Kanan a little swig. And he's like... right? Because all they drinking is over at Famous's party is beer and hunch punch, you know what I'm saying, that sweet stuff, and coolers, wine coolers. Now his mama give him some liquor, and it reminds her of her dad. Her dad used to sell bootleg liquor, and it tastes like rubbing alcohol. That's that 50 proof. That's that moonshine. That's that good, right? It's right good, but still it's that good, right? Have you howling at the moon? Ow! and sweating for no reason. And she told about how he had a whole bunch of different hustles, whole bunch of different kind of hustles, right? He had to keep her mom with nice things in the lifestyle to which she had grown accustomed, right? Okay, so listen. Next thing we know, she tells him, I want to talk to you about the family business. I know you didn't, you having second thoughts about being in it. Heck, I had second thoughts about bringing you in it. But I want you to know this is your empire, and it's you can have everything you need within this empire. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta have your commitment. And he was like, yeah, I didn't think I wanted to be in it, but I feel like I want to be in it now. She was like, good, because all of this is gonna be yours one day, Kanan. Right? What we working towards, it's gonna be yours one day. And Kanan was like, cool. She said, we just have to stick together, just me and you, right? No secrets, no behind the scenes, side deals, side hustles, no secrets. We tell each other everything, and we work this business together. And he said, oh, you gonna tell me everything? She said, of course. All you have to do is ask. And he looking at her like, still lying, huh, Ma? Still lying. It's fine. Later on, we see where, since he's committed to being all in, they going deeper into the woods, and they finna bury this body, right? And they do the hard work. Not only are they finna bury this body, but this hole ain't been pre-dug. They dig it together. Throw this body in and bury it and stand there proud. Proud. Yeah, this what we do. This how we keep our business. This how we keep it flourishing. Anybody get in our way, we bury them, essentially, right? Okay. So next day come, they packing up, right? She gives Kanan the keys to the cabin, return these keys to the cabin over to the manager's cabin. So he's on his way. He see Hannah Montana cleaning the cabin out, and she was like, oh, you leaving? He was like, yeah, I'm leaving. She say, oh, you was gonna leave without speaking to me? He was like, actually, I was just looking for you. And so, mind you, the Italians are watching all along. They see Kanan walk off to go to the manager's cabin, and the experienced one is like, this is my chance. I'm gonna get robbed. So he said, you go and distract the son. Why would he send him? But he did. So the racist Italian goes, he sees where Kanan goes in the cabin that the girl cleaning, and looks back and forth and closes the door. He's like, oh, he's gonna get his grubby cocoa hands all over this lily white princess, and I can't allow it, right? So immediately he goes in, he sees Kanan kissing, and he starts fighting Kanan, and he's beating him up, and Kanan is fighting him back and tumbling, and Hannah Montana's like, get up and don't touch him, don't hurt him, get away, oh my gosh. Rock back at the cabin, and she packing the bag up, right? And the old dude, the experienced Italian, comes in, and he's got his gun, and he's creeping, right? And Rock comes up behind him, and she got that hunting knife, and she got it to his throat, and she tell him, she said, what the you doing here? He was like, listen. She said, listen, I want to kill you. I want to kill you dead, right? She said, but if I kill you dead, then it's going to start a war between our families, and neither one of us need that. If I leave you alive, you just going to keep coming. So I tell you what, at the same time, Hannah Montana runs in and says, he's going to kill him. Please help. So she mollywops the experienced Italian on the head, whoop, and runs behind Hannah Montana and gets in there, and the racist Italian has thrown Kanan hard to the ground, and he's got a gun, and he is smiling. He is gonna shoot Kanan right in the chest. And Rock has got to go into defense, and Hannah Montana is frightened, and in comes the experienced Italian, and he shoots his counterpart, the racist Italian, in the leg. Guy goes down. Oh, okay. Kanan grabs his gun and puts his gun on the experienced Italian. I said, okay, Kanan, you about this life. Puts his gun on him. And Rock said, listen, this what we gonna do. You get your man and you get out of here. I'm gonna get my son and we get out of here. You tell Sal I'm gonna call him later and we gonna work something out. And the experienced Italian said, what about her? Talking about Hannah Montana. She said, she ain't gonna say nothing, are you? Because if you do, my man's in them and his man's in them gonna come back and handle your man's in them. Okay? You want that? And she was like, I don't want no part of it. So Rock gathers Kanan and she runs out and Hannah Montana leave with him. Okay? Rock get in her car and her and Kanan head up the road, baby. And she tell him, he said, what was that all about? She said it was business. It was family business. And don't worry, it will be dealt with. Okay, it will be dealt with. A really, really, really good episode, you guys. That is the episode. That's how it goes off. So I'm thinking we got 10 episodes in this season, which means we got 5 more episodes to go. I don't know how it's going to crescendo. If you guys tell me what you think. You guys, I'm just not sure. Everything that Kanan has done up until this point kind of can be scrapped. I will say that because he's now committed to no secrets. Okay. And even though I think she's going to find out that he's been stealing, he can kind of sweep it up under that. But at the same time, I don't know. One other key thing that happened is that Burke, nuisance, has gone over and she's arrested Andrea, the working girl who Howard has been sleeping with. And Howard doesn't know that Kanan's in the Catskills. He's looking for Kanan. Kanan's came over and talked to him. He's been paging Kanan. Kanan's not answering. So he's hanging outside of Rock's house. He sees Juke. He shakes Juke down. And Juke is like, Ninja, buck you. Buck you. Kanan is where you at. Deal with it. And keeps going. Right? She ain't telling the cops nothing. She ain't no narc. Meanwhile, Andrea's downtown and Burke is threatening to take her child unless she tells him everything. Now, I'm like, you doing this against your own partner? Burke? Against your own partner? Wow. This is crazy. How she moving is crazy. Man, it made me dislike her so much this scene. She tells Andrea that she is going to call CPS. I forget what they call it in their city, but basically Child Protective Services, and they're going to take her son away because she's a whore. And so she don't really know much. They really don't talk a lot. It's kind of innocuous, the conversation that they have. But she just starts talking, like telling what she kind of knows. And she was like, yeah, I mean, you know, he doesn't remember anything. He doesn't talk anything about the shooting. He doesn't remember anything about getting shot. And, you know, I mean, he just talks about just really stupid stuff, how he feels, you know, and, you know, his son. And Burke is like his son. And she was like, yeah, he just talks about his son. Not a lot. I don't even know the kid's name. I think he's a teenager. And Burke is like, oh. So later on, Andrea tells Detective Howard what happened. It was another good scene where he was like, isn't it some kind of NDA, some kind of clause where you don't discuss people's business, something that tells you to shut the duck up? She was like, hey, I had no idea. I thought she knew. I thought, you know, it was like common knowledge that I don't. And he was like, you know what, get the duck out of here. Go. It's over. We're done. Like, no more. I'm not messing with you no more. And she was like, really? He was like, really? Get out. Right? And then, you know, it's something he's got to think about. Burke is not, she's hot on your trail. She's not letting this go. Whatever you're trying to have with Kanan, you're going to have to do it real discreetly because Burke is watching. Right? I don't like Burke. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that scene. But that's basically the episode. I would love to hear what some of your favorite moments was from this episode. I would love to hear what you think is going to transpire in the future. Like, what's up with what's up with Marvin and him following this white chick, you guys? What's up? What you guys think Detective Howard is gonna do? And what do you guys think Lou is gonna do with Crown? Y'all tell me. Put it down below. Listen, and until next time, honeybees. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I holla.